Hey there, welcome to my next video. So in this one I'm going to discuss the topic of kids and social media. Basically, how to keep your kids safe on social media, because these days kids have got phones, they're getting them younger and younger. We don't know what they're actually up to on these phones, and there's so many different social media outlets. It gets a little bit hard to monitor what they're doing, and they can create these accounts themselves. They're pretty clever, these kids. And they could be talking to somebody or anybody that you don't know, they don't even really know, putting themselves at risk. So the idea is here just to give you some insight into some statistics, and I'm going to again run a video that shows you the perspective from teenagers of online safety and how they've sort of been able to keep themselves safe, what they do to effectively avoid any troubles online. And then I'm going to come back to you because I've got a little bit of a tip that I use, a particular app actually that I use that works really well, and I'm just going to mention that in today's video. But generally speaking, I just want to give you some information on social media safety for kids. So the first thing I want to cover is basically there's a few different things that we need to go over. First of all, the rules here and the percentages and some statistics that I think you really need to be aware of. So let me just go over this. So there are 5 million Facebook users, right? And there's actually more now. There's more than that. And of those, so there's actually over 5 million Facebook users that are actually under the age of 13, which is pretty insane. And 78% of those, parents actually help create the accounts for them, which is insane. So parents are just happily creating these kids' Facebook accounts, which is fine in some respect, but then they're free to do anything without being monitored, which is the wrong way to go about it. Now, access to smartphones made 42% of tweens post risky pics on Instagram. Right, it's a bit of Instagram information. Only 18% have posted pics that they later actually regretted sharing. The rest didn't regret it. They have no idea the risk they're putting themselves at. Think about it. When they're posting pictures and stuff, they could be posting pictures with your car in the background, with their house address, with the school name, things like that. So basically their location, where they are, and what they're doing, and when they're out and about, which is terrible. Now, on Pinterest, nearly 80% of Pinterest users are actually female, and out of which 24% are aged between 8 and 14 years. Right? So they're very young on Pinterest, which is insane, because Pinterest also has a messenger situation. Pinterest also has a lot of content that you don't want them actually seeing. Now let's go over to Vine. Now Vine's not something I've been really aware of much, but 20% of tweens have an account and use Vine, and only 11% of Vine users are aged between 18 and 30 years. So therefore, the remainder of those people are probably younger, more than likely young, because Vine's a younger thing that I'm aware of. So that's a lot of people on Vine that are actually younger than 18. Now, if we look at Snapchat, 35% of tweens use Snapchat on a mobile phone. Now, why is that bad? Because when they're on a mobile phone, you really don't know what they're doing. They don't have to be home doing this sort of stuff. They could be anywhere on Snapchat, sharing all sorts of stuff that you have no idea what they're sharing, talking to people that you have no idea that they're talking to. Now, on Snapchat, 6 out of 10 tweens have been cyber bullied or sexting victims. Right, which is pretty bad and something that parents are not aware of. That is a huge 6 out of 10 is a massive amount. All right. Now on Twitter, 16% of tweens consider Twitter as their favorite social network, and 75% of these their tweets are either derogatory or self-centered. All right, which is a pretty bad thing considering the context of what that can actually mean. Now let me just shoot over to a video where we have some perspectives of this from actual teenagers and their thoughts on social media safety, cyber safety, and how they sort of work around it and what sort of risks they feel that they're being put at. So let's go check that out and I'll come straight back to you.
I communicate online pretty much through Facebook.
My main way of communicating with my friends is over texting and a little bit of email and a little bit of Skype.
I like to use games to connect with people online.
So when I accept a friend on Facebook, I primarily look at mutual friends. Maybe I'll be in Spanish class one day and some kid I've never even met before will look at my Facebook and then we might become friends.
Well, friend list works on Xbox Live. It's sort of like Facebook, where you can send and receive friend requests from people you may know or don't know. And I mostly like to add people that I do know.
The way I get people's numbers is usually from school, or if they put their number in my phone if we're like hanging out.
My interactions with people that I don't really know usually consists of me, not really paying attention to their Facebook as much until I sort of, get to know who they are, maybe in one of my classes or things like that.
If none of my friends are online, I'm mostly just gonna play a random game, and I don't really have the intent to find a friend online.
When I was 11, I first got a Skype, and it was my first time using it, and some random person wanted to be my friend.
There was one time on Facebook where I kind of felt, uncomfortable. It was kind of an awkward situation.
One awkward moment I've had online was I was playing in a game.
This guy who I've never met before had some name in a different language that I've never seen before, and he kept on adding me over and over again.
So I accepted, and they started to talk to me. And they asked for my age, and I said 11, and they said, "Oh, I'm 12, and where do you live?"
They were just using a lot of vulgar language, I guess, and trash talking a lot, and it was mostly directed towards me.
So they started talking to me and asking a lot of questions about me before I started asking questions about them. And so my mom got really freaked out about it, which is, looking back on it now, I can really understand why she got freaked out about that, because I did not know the person at all.
If just say you're online and someone's harassing you, you can just don't really have to take it because the guy's maybe 50, 100 miles away, or you can just turn off your mic, just leave the game.
If you ever find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, my advice is just to, if someone's harassing you or something like that, just stop talking to them. Just don't, listen to what they're saying and just ignore them.
When you know something's off when you're on Skype or texting, you kind of get this weird feeling this doesn't really seem right. I don't think I should be doing this. And when you get that feeling, that you should definitely shut off your computer or say goodbye on your texting or just don't respond at all.
Well, if you're just starting playing an online game, I guess, try not to make your name your actual name in real life, and don't give out any home address or phone number.
A cool aspect of being able to communicate with people that you don't know, or close, not close friends, is that you can get to know them better, and maybe you can see their interest in what they want to do and become actual friends with them.
I have some good friends who are from Redwood who I played basketball with, and I kind of got to know them a little bit better after we had a game, and I kind of liked their personality, and we started talking on Facebook, and now we're friends in real life.
I've talked to people from Qatar or England or something. It helps me just to see what get out of my little social box, I guess, of where I live, and helps me see other places around the world and what it's like to live other places.
I think it really depends on who you're talking to, because if you're really close to someone and you know them and you're just kind of exchanging, cute little messages or something like that, it's not really an issue. But when it comes to talking to people you don't really know well and you haven't really talked to in person, you never know how they're going to react and what kind of person they are, and if you really want to be talking to them because you haven't had a conversation with them in person. Whereas at the same time, it's great because you could make a connection that you wouldn't have made otherwise. So you really got to judge the situation day to day and, see what's best for you.
Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully that's given you some insight, a little bit of a little bit of light on the whole social media and risks that your kids are actually at. Now, when we say teenagers, they're actually younger than that these days, very, very much so. Now, I've got 4 kids, and one of the things that I do is I adopt a way to monitor those, because, we're all working, we're all busy, they've all got these phones and iPads and devices. Very, very difficult, very hard to keep up with what's going on, especially with Xboxes and PlayStations. They're actually chatting on those things as well, which you probably aren't even aware of. So what I do is I actually use a monitoring app, an app to monitor everything. It sets off alerts if certain words are mentioned or certain names are brought up. I can restrict what they're looking at. I know what apps they're getting. I know what they're saying in their conversations. I know what phone calls they're making. I know where they are via a I will actually put a link further down in the description under this video where you can click on that, and that'll actually take you to a video where I discuss that app in detail. I'll do a full review on it and give you my thoughts on that. Go through the features and the benefits, the costs, everything, right? But generally speaking, yeah, social media is something we all need to be aware of. It's getting riskier and riskier, and the busier we are in life, the less we're able to monitor our children, knowing what they're actually up to on these things. So it's definitely something you want to consider, looking at ways that you can protect your kids as they go through this stage of social media, and it seems to be here forever. There's no way around that, and they're all getting phones younger and younger. So if you want to see more videos like this, if you want to get some more tips, more help when it comes to online safety, cyberbullying, different apps that can help you, different softwares, parental controls, all that sort of stuff, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button, hit the bell icon to get notified as well, and do share this around so other parents, other people can see the information that they need to see. Also, if you want to see a particular video or me to cover a particular topic, just leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer that if you have any questions, and I'll hopefully get to some of those videos as well. So don't forget to check out the links below. I've also got to put a link to that to the app so you can actually go check the app out, and I've actually been able to secure a discount for that. Plus I've got some additional bonuses that I'm happy to give you as well that I feel will help you a lot with keeping your kids safe online, offline, just generally keeping them safe. Okay, so knowing what's going on behind your back is really, really, really important. So go ahead, like I said, subscribe to the channel, share the video, like it, leave a comment, hit the bell icon, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Ciao.